Welcome to the very first podcast of Where Are You Now? My name's Dr. Barbara Hadley, and I'm from the School of Pharmacy and Medical Sciences, Griffith Uni on the sunny Gold Coast in Queensland. This is the podcast where we're going to catch up with graduates, professionals, and industry experts to discover where their studies took them, what they learned along the way, and what they wish they'd known when they were sitting where you are now. Whether you're trying to decide on a career path, wondering what life after university really looks like, or just simply curious about the incredible places a degree can take you, this is the podcast for you. Today's episode of Where Are You Now features Claire Chapman, who joins us to share her journey from university student to PhD candidate, the surprises that she encountered along the way, and what life is really like working behind the scenes as a PhD candidate. Claire, welcome to the podcast. Let's begin at the end. Where are you now? So, what's your title and what's the job that you currently do?
I am a PhD student, so an HDR student over in the School of Allied Health, Sport and Social Work.
So, first of all, what does HDR stand for?
Higher degree research.
Yes. And what year did you graduate? What was your degree, first of all, that you did prior to doing this?
Okay, so I came here to Griffith and in 2018 started my undergraduate in the Bachelor of Nutrition and Dietetics, which I completed with honours in 2021.
And not saying this because of the way you look, I swear, but you're a mature age student, right?
Yes. Well, technically I'm a mature age student. I'm a mature age, but
But not mature?
yeah.
Yes, that's subjective, right?
Yeah.
Yes, subjective. Okay, so let's just kick off with a few icebreaker questions first. Coffee, tea, or energy drinks during uni?
Decaf coffee.
Not sure how that helps you stay awake.
Yes, it helps me stay awake because it means that I actually get sleep at night.
Oh, good. All right, we will come back to that. How many hours of sleep during the exam week?
The full, 8 hours every night.
Really?
Yep, every single time.
Very interesting. And in one word, how would you describe yourself when you were a student?
One word. Well known.
Oh, it's hyphenated?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. We will go with that. Okay, so why did you choose that degree?
There's a really good reason why I chose that degree. One, I absolutely love science. Two, I absolutely love food. And three, I kind of like people too. So it was something where I could take those three things and bring them together.
Oh, that's very interesting. And did you always know what career you wanted?
Which one? I'm a mature age student. I've been around the block a few times.
So pick three of your favourite things that you've done over your lifetime, career-wise.
So I started off as a printer technician, and that was good. It made lots of money, which was nice. I like money. I peaked too early, yeah. I actually really enjoyed that. I loved, being in my car, driving around, going to businesses, fixing printers, having a bit of a joke with people when I was out there. Usually when I had my vacuum cleaner, because, it'd be like, "Oh, do you want to come to my place next?" I'm like, "No, thank you." And you don't want me to use this vacuum cleaner because it's full of toner.
You were well-toned.
I was well-toned. Yep. Probably the most meaningful work that I ever did was birth work. I was a doula for about 12 years. I attended over 300 births.
Wow.
And, and I still have contact with a bunch of people from that part of my life these days, knowing that I've been there for the entire family.
That's amazing.
That's something that's really special that I will, will never I'll never top that with regards to meaningfulness, I think. It's one of those things that's also enormously draining and requires a huge commitment. And when my kids became teenagers, I decided that was the time that I needed to let that go and be around for the family a bit more. So, yeah, I moved on from there.
How did you get into that?
I had really, really amazing birth experiences myself. Like, I really enjoyed the whole being pregnant, having babies, breastfeeding, all that sort of stuff. And then all of my peers had babies after me, and their experiences were pretty awful, actually. And it just made me think I can help people do better. I can help them, not come away completely traumatized. So it was one of those things where I wanted to be able to provide that emotional support to people, give them resources and empower them to make decisions for themselves, in a way that was going to help them come away with a much better experience.
That's amazing. And job number 3.
Job number 3 is what I do now.
I know there's a secret job you didn't tell me about.
Secret job? Which one?
That would be a jazz singer, right?
Maybe.
We're going to resist the part where you croon to me because we all know that makes me cringe.
Yeah.
But I have heard you sing
Yes.
as well.
Yeah.
All right. So the job you do now, tell me a little bit about that.
So obviously I'm an HDR student, so I'm doing research as part of a PhD program. That I'm enjoying the research part of it. There's parts of it that makes me want to cry. But, I think that is part of the PhD journey, as I've heard. That's, baptism of fire that we're expected to go through. So I'm doing research into excreted energy losses in adult populations, and particularly ICU patients. This area of research was actually my lifelong dream, and it's something that I've always wanted to do.
You're trying not to smile. I can see that.
And I've spent many, many, many a morning pooing into a plastic bag. I have gathered more poop than you can ever imagine.
And I'm going to hope that this really is related to your PhD and this is not a sidekick.
It's definitely related to my PhD. But what's worse is it was all dyed blue.
Oh,
Yeah.
so I'm sure there are people who are going to be interested in why you poop blue into a bag every morning.
It's not every morning, it's on
Okay.
specific mornings. So my PhD is looking at so just a little rundown of people understanding energy balance.
So the idea is that you dye your food blue so that when you eat it and digest it, and then it comes out the other end, when it turns from that browny color to blue, you know where that food intake begins. So you can then start counting the calories. Is that right?
Yeah. When you read a food label, say you're looking at the back of your yogurt tub and it's got, let's say 700 kilojoules on it. It doesn't actually have 700 kilojoules in your yogurt. It's really, yeah. What that number is based on an idea of how much of that energy that's in it, which might be about like 900 kilojoules, how much of that you're actually going to be absorbing from that. And those numbers and the data from that is over 100 years old. And it's based on a really, really limited number of tests that were done on 6 white men with, limited experience. And the equipment has changed a lot in the last 100 years. So my research in this is having a look at how much does that actually vary in populations? Like, how does that vary from healthy people to unwell people and things like that? And me collecting my own poop in a bag all comes down to working out validating methods to be able to take this into a clinical setting and be able to use it in a way that is useful, and looking at what's been done in the past, what we can do in the future, and how we can actually improve on these methods to get them really robust.
So when you said that the packaging where it says how much is in there, do you think there's a better way for that to be displayed? Do you think that should be changed, or is that a loaded question?
I think it's a loaded question. One, no one's ever going to change it. It's been the way that it's been done for such a long time. I like, honestly, I think that we need to go to gross energy, that it's just whatever energy is actually in the food is what's on the label. But, that's never it's never going to happen because for a number of reasons, just the different ways that we digest, fiber compared to sugar, for example, and fat compared to protein and all those sorts of things that it's not going to happen. But even different types of protein, we lump it all into one number, but we use different proteins in different ways. So yeah, it's very complex. But I do think that those numbers, we shouldn't rely on them. You've got to look at the whole person if you're working with, either fighting malnutrition or other areas where you're looking at energy balance, at what's going on.
And I'm assuming that's including people that are in ICU that are being fed?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So because my job is to ask the driving and important questions, what type of bag do you poop into? Is it a Ziploc?
Is it?
I
You want
need the brands that are better.
what is the brand that I use? I've forgotten. It's one with the double zip on the top.
Of
So
course it is.
yeah, so I double bag everything, and it's double zipped and double bagged, and then it goes into a sealed plastic container, and then into a sealed bag, and then into one of those cold Woolies bags.
Nice. So is research the only thing that you do being a PhD candidate?
And then the teaching side of things, being a tutor, a lab demonstrator, occasionally getting a chance to dip my toes into lecturing. I really, really quite enjoy that. So again, it comes back to those skills that I got as a doula of being able to help people help themselves. Yeah.
I think that's important when you lecture, isn't it? That you're not just sprouting facts at people.
Yeah.
Can I ask, what did you want to be when you grew up when you were a child?
I wanted to be a farmer. Or the other thing I also said that I wanted to be was a bush ranger, but I think I meant a ranger out in the bush.
So I'm assuming that neither of those came to fruition.
No, neither of those things came to fruition.
Well, I know what to get you for Christmas then.
A
Cow. One or the other.
A little miniature Highland cow.
Highland coo.
A Highland coo.
When you were doing your degree, what did you set out to achieve at the end of it? When you started your degree, did you intend to do a PhD?
No, not at all. No.
What were your intentions when you first started?
My intentions were I was going to go into private practice. I was just going to work with, set up my own business, work with people, try and help people with nutrition in that sense. So yeah, this is not where I saw myself going when I started.
Yeah. So when did this idea begin to blossom?
Of changing?
Mm.
Honestly, there's one person that needs the recognition here, and that's actually Andrew Bulmer. He was the one that said, when I finished Patho, he said, if you ever want to come and do some tutoring for me when you finish, let me know. And it just set off a little spark in my head where, actually, that sounds kind of interesting. Like that might be something that I'd like to do. So that helped me there. And then I always intended on doing honours. I was always planning on doing a research project because, as I said, I love science. It's always been my jam. But I thought I would do honours, and that's where I'd end it. But I quite enjoyed my honours experience. I was given a lot of leeway. I was given a very long leash as to how I wanted to conduct my research and develop my methods and my study design and all that sort of thing, which was, again, down to my supervisor, Ben Desborough, who really allowed me to do that. And because of that, I think it really sparked more of an interest in the research side of things and continue on to do a PhD.
If you think back over your degree, what would have been one of your favourite courses and why?
Favourite courses? I love structural.
You're just saying that.
No,
Go on.
I did. I loved structural. It was one of my favourite courses. And again, this was one of the things that happened in structural. This is where I sort of got my toes wet with the teaching thing, because my friends struggled so much with it. And I would spend hours in the library and we'd book a pod and we would go through everything and we would laugh our asses off because we would come up with the most ridiculous analogies to try and remember things. So I have really fond memories of structural biochemistry because of that. And as I said, I've loved science since I was a kid, and I begged my parents for a chemistry set when I was 9 for my birthday.
Chemistry set and a cow.
That's so that was one of the things that it really stuck with me. The content, the staff were all right too.
Thanks. So I have my next question, although I am aware probably of where you will go with this question, which is probably what makes it more interesting. And that is what was one of the more difficult things that happened to you during your degree?
One of the more difficult things. Well, there's two things. One that everyone else would see as probably the most difficult, and one that I saw that was the most difficult. The first one that everyone else would see as the most difficult is prior to starting my studies, my son had been diagnosed with epilepsy, and he had been seizure-free for almost 2 years. And then halfway through my first year, his seizures came back, and so we had a lot of, time in the hospital, a lot of trying to explore, MRIs and PET scans and, overnight EEGs and week-long EEGs, on a couple of occasions and stuff like that. That was really full on, as in it was emotionally draining and really quite hard. But I was able to compartmentalize things, and I actually found having an out, which was to study, really helped keep me in balance through that. And I think that if I hadn't had that, I think I would have coped with that far less. And so, having a purpose and something to work on that's outside of that actually made things easier. The thing that I would see as the biggest struggle was COVID. Like, I found all of a sudden being online, being at home, being, like, stuck in a space where we couldn't do what we wanted to do. Every time that there was a closure, I'd have to, like, put all of my research on hold and just hope that it'd open up in time for me to get it all done in time to finish my honours project. And I now look back and see how overly enthusiastic I was about collecting data, and I now know I should have cut it down by about half of what I actually collected, because it would have made my life so much easier. But anyway, we live and we learn, and I got it done and got through it. But then also on placement, same thing. Every time that there was a case, we'd get kicked off site because of some administrative mistake that was never supposed to have happened, that every time that there was COVID in an area that the students were sent home, which was just a misunderstanding by someone in the government that happened. And it just made life very, very, very difficult to try and, am I going to do this? Am I going to be able to graduate in time? What's going to happen? All that sort of stuff. So, yeah.
I do know there were also times that you were studying for exams while you were in hospital. Is that right?
Yep. There's photos of me studying for an exam, or studying for a couple of exams, next to a hospital bed. So one night, we were there for a week. I stayed and studied during the day, and then we did the handover, and I had 2 exams the next day, one at 8 AM and one at 6 PM. So I went home the night before and, left my partner to it. And I got home, and there was a massive huntsman in my bedroom. Like, I'm not gonna be sleeping tonight if old mate there is hanging around. So first I had to try and catch this damn spider who did not wanna be caught. It ended up in the backyard with 3 fewer legs than what he started with, unfortunately, and I feel a little bit bad for him.
Lift one, drag one.
That's right. So the next morning, I woke up and my 45-kilo dog had a bit of an accident all the way across the carpet through the lounge room.
Oh, dear.
And my daughter came out, and I'm like, "Go back to bed and pretend none of this happened. Just go back to bed.
All a dream.
It's all a dream. I will have it fixed up." Anyway, but she came and helped me because she's an angel. And that's how I started my day with my 2 exams while my son was in hospital.
Wow. So was there ever a moment going through your degree that you doubted yourself?
COVID, yeah. I actually rang the program director and said, I'm not sure I can keep doing this during COVID.
How did your peers deal with it? They were dealing with that in the same way that you were?
I don't think so. I think most of them were, they were a little bit more stoic with the isolation than I was. One I know really did have quite a few struggles, and for a whole lot of reasons. But yeah, she pulled up her socks and got there. And yeah.
So if you think back to your first year, is there anything that you would have done differently?
First year, probably not, actually. I think that I would do first year exactly the same. I think the things that I really appreciated first year was getting embedded with my cohort and creating a friend group, and that little tight-knit community that.
That's super important.
Yeah. So I think that probably, for first year, that was probably one of the most important things. And having a cohort or a group of friends that we all had different strengths and weaknesses. So one of my friends was a designer before she did nutrition and dietetics. So she did all of the PowerPoint slides. She was the queen of PowerPoint slides.
Oh, there you go.
And so it was great. So, she could do that. I could help her with the technical stuff, the biochemistry and all that sort of stuff. And another friend that just loved referencing. Referencing was her, it was like.
Can you share her phone number?
Yeah, she found it like meditation.
Really?
Yeah, she loved it. And it was
One these like statistics. Very strange.
weird. That's strange. Anyway, so that was one of the things, is I fell in with a good group of people. We still catch up now and chat.
Mm. Were there any opportunities that you wish you'd taken advantage of that you didn't? Or perhaps any opportunities that you did take advantage of that were notable?
Teaching paths.
Oh,
Yep. Yeah, I think one of the things that I did take advantage of was actually, because I'd got fairly decent marks in first year, I was able to take advantage of becoming a path leader.
that sounds good. What does PASS stand for?
So it's peer-assisted study sessions. They're run by students, usually for first years by second years. So a student that's done that course fairly recently and has done well in it, so usually for someone who's got a 7 in those courses. So yeah.
That sounds really useful. Do they have PASS in every degree and every course?
Not every single course. It's usually courses that students have issues with. But I know that there are pass-supported courses in arts and education and law, in the business school, Griffith Sciences, and also the health part of Griffith as well. So, yeah.
Nice. And how does that come about? How do you get to become a PASS leader?
Yeah, you have to sit an interview.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So
Does someone approach you or do you approach someone?
you apply. So they put it out an email and you put it in the expression of interest and the CV. And I was already at uni when they said that they wanted me to come in for an interview that day. And so here I was in my leggings and my T-shirt turning up to a job interview. So yeah, and that was a bit nerve-wracking because honestly, it had been the 90s was the last time I'd sat in a job interview.
You're old.
Yes, very.
You don't look that old.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. So, what do you think was the best part of your university experience?
Best part.
That's a rather leading statement, isn't it? I mean, it could be anything.
It's a little bit of everything. The best part is the person that I came out the other end as. So I feel like a lot of it really shaped me as a person. I didn't go to uni straight out of school. And so it really gave me a way to be myself in a very different environment that I hadn't experienced before. And I think that really helped shape me as a person. So I think that's the biggest thing that I got out of it.
Yeah. So I think we might take a break and we're going to go into a fun segment, but I have something for you to do first. All right, so we're about to go into this fun section and I've just passed you an instrument that, tell me, you've never seen that before in your life?
No. And I would recognize it if I did.
So I want you to play me a 10-second introduction to our next section. Okay? Ready? Go. That was lovely. Your 10 seconds is up. My ears are bleeding. That was very meaningful. Thank you, Claire. It was one of those. I can safely say that that's not going to go down as one of your career options.
Look, there's plenty of flutes that I have played. But that's not one of them.
That's not one of them. All right, so we're going to have a quick fire. What would you rather? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Would you rather never drink decaf coffee again or never use Google again?
Never use Google.
Would you rather explain glycolysis to a 5-year-old or TikTok to your grandmother?
Oh, glycolysis to a 5-year-old. What sort of question is that?
Would you rather have unlimited funding or unlimited time?
Unlimited time.
Yes, because with unlimited time, you could find unlimited funding.
That's right. Yeah. You could write many a grant.
And would you rather sit another final exam or rewrite your PhD application?
Sit an exam. Thank you very much.
Although that's fun, right?
Oh, yeah. I love exams. They're my jam.
Okay. Rapid fire. Favorite lecturer?
You.
Am I holding anything next to your neck for you to say that?
It's not that big.
Worst student habit?
Student habit. Of Melon?
Yes.
Procrastinating.
That's most of us, right? What's your most useful app you have?
Claude.
In fact, we're not even here.
This is Claude doing this.
It is. Thanks, it is. What's your favorite study snack? You look embarrassed.
It's going to the lollygar, and it's got to be chocolate bullets.
I thought you were going to say peach rings.
Oh, I love a good peach ring, but bullets are my
Shout out to the uni store. And happy hour at the yes. Happy hour at the uni bar is when?
Happy at the uni bar. I don't know, but
Oh,
the
no,
candy bar
the candy bar
is 2 till 3
every day.
every day. Yeah, that's the one.
That's it. All right. One thing every student should own.
One thing every student should own: a notepad and pen, like coloured pens.
Oh, I love a good highlighter.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes. And the most overrated study advice.
Ironically, take notes, because the thing is that most people take really, really crappy notes, and I think that just saying, "Oh, just take notes," is actually really poor advice, because it needs to be more complex than that.
Very true. Very true. Now, I think we already touched on this before, but do you have a hidden talent? And I can tell you it's not playing that clarinet. Though you can't lay claim to that.
Do I have a hidden talent?
Yes.
I can sing.
I know.
Yeah.
Do you want to give us a croon?
Yep.
I really like you to sing that. You're a creep. Yes, that'd be funny, but
I never cared much for moonlit skies. I never winked back at fireflies. But now that the stars are in your eyes, I'm beginning to see the light.
woo! Look at that. That was good. And it wasn't creepy at all. It's different when you're creepy and you croon to me, but yeah, well done. Do you have a favourite joke then?
A favourite joke? One that's suitable?
Correct.
Yeah. How do you get Pikachu on a train?
I don't know.
Your Pokemon.
I'll get that button right yet. Oh, that's very good. So let's head in now to Advice Corner. What advice would you give to a first-year student?
Get to know people in your cohort. Find a friend. Make those connections. Because it's just so important, because university is not just about what your lecturers share with you and the information that you get from the course content. It's about being able to discuss ideas with peers and, develop critical thinking skills and things like that. So I think that would be my number one advice is make friends, get a peer group.
Mm. What misconception do students have about your profession? And I'm talking here about not so much about a PhD, although you can do that, but nutrition and dietetics.
Oh, that it's just writing up meal plans. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
And so what are some of the outcomes that you can get from nutrition and dietetics degree?
Um, there are a huge range of places that you can go, obviously research, because
Mm.
someone's doing that. Lots of people do that. So obviously, clinical dietetics is very different to, for example, private practice. And that's different again from, working in nursing homes or in childcare centres and all that sort of stuff. Industry is also another big one. I had this sort of misconception that industry is just for those on the don't want to make lots of money by selling things. But now I actually see industry as being a place where we can actually make meaningful change. But yeah, so there's that sort of all of these different areas of working in food industry, working in government with regards to public health, huge number of areas that you can go.
Mm. Have you got any advice for your 18-year-old self? What would you have told yourself if you could have?
What would I told my 18-year-old self? I think I would tell myself that it's worth the journey, like
Hmm.
that everything, like every setback, every heartbreak, all of those things are absolutely worth the journey.
Very, very nice. So I had a closing question for you. Imagine a first-year Griffith student's listening right now and wondering if they're good enough to succeed. What would you say to them?
Have a bit of confidence in yourself and go and give it a go.
Thank you. Thank you, Claire.
Thanks for having me.
And that's a wrap on today's episode of Where Are You Now? I want to give a huge thank you to Claire Chapman for sharing her story, her experiences, and her insights into life as a PhD candidate. If there's one thing that we've learned today, it's that career paths are very rarely straight lines, and sometimes the opportunities you never expected turn out to be the most rewarding. To our listeners, whether you're just starting university, halfway through your degree, or still figuring out what comes next, remember that it's perfectly okay not to have all the answers yet. Careers evolve, interests change, and the path that you end up taking might be one that you haven't even discovered yet. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you the next time as we catch up with another graduate to find out where life after university has taken them. Until then, keep asking questions, stay curious, and who knows, maybe one day we'll be asking you, where are you now?